have 37 of the 38 extant essays and speeches by Inessa Armand translated into English for the first time. And we are just short of the halfway mark on the fundraising progress as well. This enrichment of the English language Marxist canon has only been possible with your support, and it's been a real lifeline for me. So anyone who would like to support this project can find links in the description for how to do so, and everybody who has already supported it has my sincerest thanks. Perfect. Okay, 3 of 4.
El hospital.
還元一級の先というのは、本当に誰も知らない字ばっかりでしょうね。私は
Okay, we've leveled up and it is time to pick another language. Mood är tröttare än vanligt. Maten är färdig. And let's see what we're doing when we get back. Greek. We're doing Greek when we get back. Benedese. Herkülü kullanmayın. Fun fact. Turkish. Hello, Shakespeare. How you doing? Fun fact, in Spanish, the word for bishop in chess is alfil. And that actually comes from Arabic. Fil. The same word fil as this. Meaning elephant, because the bishop traditionally was to represent elephant units somehow. Similarly, in Russian, the word for bishop is squad, and that also means elephant. Okay. This is Elise with an update on the ongoing Inessa Armand translation project. We now have 37 of the 38 extant essays and speeches by Inessa Armand translated into English for the first time, and we are just short of the halfway mark on the fundraising progress as well. This enrichment of the English language Marxist canon has only been possible with your support, and it's been a real lifeline for me. So anyone who would like to support this project can find links in the description for how to do so, and everybody who has already supported it has my sincerest thanks.
Ça, ça, ah c'est ça, que c'est ça, non ça, c'est ça. Sol chi sa che nulla sa, ne sa più di chi ne sa. Ecco.
Bonjour et bienvenue à Hyperpolyglotting avec Élise. Moi c'est Élise, traductrice, éditrice et écrivain avec 20 ans de travail. Et ça c'est la transmission en direct ou en jeu des jeux, surtout GeoGuessr en dernier temps. Et parle des langues, de la linguistique, de l'acquisition des langues.
10-159. Haven't made a huge dent in it, but we're getting there. Okay, gonna do some Chinese now. Night. Night. Come on. Yen. Yo. 5. Ducks are drinking wine. Bamba, okay, Bambas is duck. Okay, I have now leveled up. Let's see what the XP situation is now. 10,340 out of 12,500. And as always, viewers can choose my next language for me just with a follow and a $5 to my Patreon.
Sotto le frasche del capanno 4 gatti grossi stanno. Sotto 4 grossi sassi, 4 grossi e grassi gatti. Un généreux déjeuner régénéré des généraux dégénérés. Un généreux déjeuner régénéré des généraux dégénérés. Ah sì, 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 ecco, la gente, è la cosa che mi dice la gente, sempre che scoprisce che quante lingue parlo, io sempre avevo l'impressione, diciamo, di che non era così, non era tan così, ma poi, dopo di aver visto qualche poliglota in YouTube, una delle cose che avevo scoperte era giustamente che la metodologia usata da quella gente poliglota che non avevo mai conosciuta prima, era più o meno la stessa metodologia che usavo io.
I buy a computer or
What?
and here's another example. I like to point these out. For this word for or sounds vaguely like Hogun and the Hok in Hogun in Korean or Waku in Japanese, and that because it is the exact same kind of character.
Okay, let me see.
Un chasseur, ça change chasser. C'est chasser son chien de chasse.
Der dicke Dach.
Okay, der dicke Dachdecker deckt dir dein Dach, drum dank dem dicken Dachdecker, dass der dicke Dachdecker dir dein Dach deckt. Hola y bienvenidos al directo de Hyperpolyglotting with Elise. Yo soy Elisa, traductora, escritora y editora y comunicadora social con más de 20 idiomas de trabajo. Y aquí vamos a estar jugando videojuegos, sobre todo GeoGuessr, y hablando de idioma, la mejor forma de aprenderlo y caleta más. Zwei Zwetschgenzweigen zwitscherten zwei tschechische Schwalben. Tres tristes tigres tragaban trigo en un trigal en tres tristes trastos.
Oh, I see. This is Diche Ishai Boyd, which means do you want food? But yeah, are you hungry? That kind of thing. How are the boys? Cine da boy. Posso Milao. Pote. Buenas, proteine. Topulo. In the designated chicken eating area, obviously.
Okay, still 3 times I have to defeat him. And I don't have a whole lot of health left.
This is Elise with an update on the ongoing Inessa Armand translation project. We now have 37 of the 38 extant essays and speeches by Inessa Armand translated into English for the first time. And we are just short of the halfway mark on the fundraising progress as well. This enrichment of the English language Marxist canon has only been possible with your support, and it's been a real lifeline for me. So anyone who would like to support this project can find links in the description for how to do so, and everybody who has already supported it has my sincerest thanks.
Monsieur. Livre. Liwe, livre.
Bucks.
Mustan kissan paksut posket.
Maciej.
Yeah.
Sí. Wysoki. Maciej. Proč? Inter. Počkej. A. Si.
Track 6.
Aspri petra xes aspri apton ilioxex asproteri. Aspri petra xes aspri apton ilioxex asproteri.
Ben coginio panas.
Oh boy.
Ad ferad verda ferra ferda vetri.
Jacob. Hefed. 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 Hek.
Hello and welcome to Hyperpolyglotting with Elise, the stream where we're going to play some GeoGuessr and we're going to talk about Indian languages. I'm Elise, translator, writer, and editor with 20 working languages. And how's everybody doing, Chad? I don't know if you heard the news, but shit is going down in LA at the moment. ICE has been attacking communities there, and the communities have been organizing to hold them back. And just like about half an hour ago, I think, roughly, an ICE vehicle drove at high speed into a crowd of protesters, seriously injuring at least several of them. Apparently, everybody survived, fortunately. But yeah, that's what's going on today. Hello, Erica.
Que vive al lado de mi casa me dijo andar los pacos y yo fui a mirar a la plaza y estaban las tanquetas y todo y de repente sí le voy a dejar a mi mamá.
Hey, Riveroon. What happened in Minneapolis? Minneapolis.
Sí, por todo lado. De repente sí me empieza a doler el estómago cuando lo veo. Sentí como en impotencia. Me dieron ganas de tirarle piedra.
Eres tú el problema y tú pega la que te hace ser tirano. Defiende lo que haces sin
Okay, we're gonna start with the daily challenge.
Que nadie es tu hermano. Aquí abajo, y por esa cárcel habitual a la cual tú le llamas trabajo. Me enervas, pero tu Dios te observa. Y si no castiga palos, se te contra sus reglas.
Envío by Guerrillero Culto, song about an FTP song in honor of the occasion. As we start the daily challenge. Okay, we got desert, we got seagulls. I know I've heard of... Oh, hang on, there's a stop sign. I find out a lot, but it says stop, okay? It does not say body. That was cheating. Yeah, I mean, it is absolutely kicking off over there, and the bastards are going feral. I mean, they took the leader of the local SEIU hostage yesterday. Truck 400 meters.
Tu vida es una incoherencia, cuando vive por la convivencia, sino por tu conveniencia, la propiedad privada justifica existencia y no la delincuencia. Fruta, yuta, hija de puta, que no simulta, disfruta, ser injusta, sabes que la ley nunca te imputa. Llevas el demonio en tu alma, como portas tu arma, lo arraigas, el alma mata la calma, caiga quien caiga.
People have been live streaming this thing that's going down in LA, and the streams are being taken down for violent content, which is brilliant. So essentially, all fucking ICE has to do in order to shut this stuff down and to prevent people reporting on it is to get violent enough that it just gets censored by the streams. Ah, that was Namibia. Oh, 2 points. My second worst score in this game. Polizei, bitte rasch slippen. Okay. Those colors look like Austrian police colors. Kurzruf. Oberösterreich. Okay. We're gonna do better this time because Oberösterreich is easy enough to find. Yeah, I mean, that's the... They always come up with some sort of excuse to pretend it's not an immigration raid. I mean, at one point... I remember, like, 10 years ago, they claimed to be, investigating human trafficking, and it turned out the trafficking was actually, like, parents, who brought their children across the border as refugees, and they called that trafficking so that they would have an excuse. So, I mean, that's just bullshit. This is Nuestra Rabia by Conspiración. 4826 and a definite improvement. Okay, we're back in the desert. Ah, fuck. Accidentally hit back on my mouse, which is very rough. Okay. Grass and sand and walls. That feels Indian. Y no ves como la vida se te fue en la rutina, la vida se te fue. O malas sumas si eres pobre, si estás enfermo. Es lo mismo que pedir ayuda en el desierto. Eso no es vivir, el derecho de vivir es sentirse feliz. Oh, this actually, I didn't know, South Africa as well? Sherhan, Pivnoy Mir. World of Beer. I think we're in Kyrgyzstan. Well, we were just outside of Kyrgyzstan in Kazakhstan. Not bad. Neu ab März, someplace German speaking. Magdeburg weiterdenken. Okay, we're in Magdeburg. That helps. It's nice when there's a municipal election going on. 4986. And now we're back in the sand again. And when was that? Okay. Okay. We're in Brazil. We're in someplace with palm trees that's also got a whole lot of sand. I'm gonna say yeah, probably. Oh, I wasn't too bad. But it's Brazil, it's huge. Okay. Okay, I don't recall this, but I must have seen something about that.
Los que están hoy día en la barricada no son nuestros, no le hacen ningún bien a nuestras convocatorias, no compartimos con ellos, pero es la mano de la derecha la que hace este trabajo. La ultraizquierda se junta con la ultraderecha, siempre. De tanto caminar por la izquierda te encontrar con la derecha. Esos son nuestros adversarios. Esos son nuestros adversarios.
What else? The play button. Oh, I have to click on roll first, of course. This is hip hop organizado si las bases gritan lucha.
Y le pongan disfrace, el desenlace nace de la diferencia de clase, el despertar de los súbditos. Nuestra lucha súbita va más allá de la prensa, el poder y la opinión pública. Por más que traten de apaciguar la euforia, si van por migaja y pacto porque no tienen misterio. Sin querer derrotar, no ha pasado tortura, dictadura, y solo están haciendo carreras para las próximas candidaturas. Hermano triunfa como un hermano y gordas en la vida y por los 21 hay lucha balando un país.
Yeah, same in LA, and yet the LAPD was definitely doing that. Ah, that's strange. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I know. The LAPD are usually such decent people. Okay, Hindi. When we see Hindi in GeoGuessr, it is almost always in Delhi. So we're just gonna say someplace in Delhi. We were indeed someplace in Delhi, 4855. This looks like the US or Canada. Something tells me northeastern, something about these houses, but 630 area code means nothing to me. I could probably improve my speed in this game substantially just by spending a few hours memorizing area code.
Que bien conocen los sucesos detrás de eso, más nada que lo colectivo, más nada así camaradas observan así que mi hijo vivo, el rol es rotativo, así evitamos los peligros, el cabo dirigente que entiende que en el frente solo porta la esperanza, delegado de confianzas que tan solo es uno más de los tantos que se levantan. La base dice lucha, la lucha los voceros. Florero mirándonos desde el cielo. Si la base para el choque va el dirigente.
Center, cedar and chestnut were amongst trees. Tree names. Trying to see if I can find a way into the center of town. Okay. Speed limit 25. Okay, we're in the US. Yeah, US BS as well, just to confirm that. Aurora, Illinois. Yeah, it's very generic. But Aurora is familiar. Looks like a council type vehicle. And I feel like I've heard of Aurora, Illinois. Like maybe a Chicago suburb? Yes, that was Namibia that I got like 2 points on. Yeah, they have a very little bit of road. Yeah, there we go. Aurora, Illinois. I knew it was familiar. Okay, Lincoln Avenue, Jackson Union Street. Apparently there's some sort of program they're doing in Namibia. I found this when I was just looking around Google Street View on there, where they pay, where some company is paying little towns in Namibia for infrastructure in exchange for doing Google Street View of the town. Namibia does have, okay, Cherrywood, Mistwood, okay. I think we got a pretty good idea. All these wood names. There's Cedar Street. $49.99. Okay, Skalovaya. Skakovaya. Oh, interesting. What does the add-on do? Deal MVD Rasi Parayonu Biegovoi Goroda Moskvy. Okay, that simplifies things. We are in Moscow. A place called Biegovaya. Профсоюзная. Бутырская. Маяковская, Положаевская. Басманный район, Покровская, Сокольники, Марина Роша, Алексеевские, аэропорт, Сокол, Хорошего Мневники, Филовский, Дорогомилова, Поклонная. Матвеевская. Oh, neat. And does this exist for Firefox? Balaklavsky Prospect, Balaklava Avenue.
Pogrovskaya, Adriadnaya, Dmitrovsky, Khovrina, Mitina. Asnat Achakova. Bratьева. Let me just make sure. What does that say? Biegovai. Biegovoi. Right by the cop shop for this district. Just have to figure out where this district actually is. Temper Monkey? Not heard of that. Sorry. Aviagorodok. Oh, interesting. Ah, well. $49.55, not bad. Okay, this is the US or Canada, almost certainly. I mean, I would say it's certainly the US or Canada. I'm less certain which of the two it is, because, oh, well, it's the US. There we go. That's easy enough. Okay. Not much going on around here. There's so many places this could be so far. I mean, this could be Indiana. This definitely could be Indiana. Lots of places in Ohio. Pretty much the entire Midwest. Okay, settling in here because so far we're not even getting any useful signage. Yeah, neither of those streets is going to be more likely to have signposting than the one I'm on, so I'm going to stay on this one. Oh, thank you.
Oh, finally we have at least street names. What did they tell us? 300 North, 680 East. Not a whole hell of a lot. Yeah. Yeah, that's as far as I got as well. Trouble is, they don't really say what state or really much of anything that we're in. We're just in that huge blob of cornfield that exists between roughly Ohio and, like, Nebraska. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's the state of the game at the moment. I'm somewhere in a huge blob of territory that is distinctly indistinct through most of it. Like, give me a state route or something. Yeah, it's too green for most of Texas. And no oil derricks. You see those everywhere. At least on GeoGuessr. Ah, now we've gotten into the poor resolution zone. No, that does not tell me anything particularly useful. And a water tower even would at least potentially give me the county or something. Illinois 17. Back in Illinois. Прощай, Москва. Yeah, perhaps not. Okay, Illinois 16 is by Carlinville. One thing about traveling by bus and rail to St. Louis regularly is you do get to know just how much middle of nowhere there is in Illinois. Oh wait, that's already bloody Indiana. There's 15, 14, 13, there's 16, Where the fuck is... Okay, we are... I need to be sure that I'm remembering that correctly, and we are actually looking for 17. Yeah, West Illinois 17. So 17 is an east-west route. $96, $100. Here we go. Goes through Kankakee and Red Dick. Only reason I've ever heard of Kankakee is back in the 80s, there was some sort of address to write to during the WGN like cartoons. I forget what it was for, but you had the address they gave was in Kankakee, Illinois, and that's basically all. That's the only thing I know about Kankakee, and I don't even remember what it was for. Ah, there we go, Kankakee. 4538. Not too bad. Okay. It looks like we are in Catalonia. Yeah. Express.seate. Come still a carré? Because it's spelled España, Espanya. Valle del Valles. Oh, neat street art. What is this, like a leprechaun gangster? Neat. e vende de naus industrials. Oh wait, it's got the local authority name there, but it's just too far away to see it. Carré de la Clota. Umanizza la teva roba. Humanize your clothes. Transformació de plàstics per injecció. Oh. Here we go, this will be helpful. Okay. Barcelona, Sabadell, Serra Parrera, Centre Urbà, La Clota, Zona Industrial La Clota, Polizur. Okay. So we're kind of like south of Barcelona, apparently. L'Hospitalet, Gavama, El Prat, Bruguer, Sant Boi. Zona Industrial. Industrial estate. Agua Dulce. Sabadell. Ah, there's Sabadell. Okay, Mollet. Yeah. Ah, there's, what was it? N150. Yeah. Okay. So this is the route it's on. Farigola, Valles, Cancuyas, Torre do Baró. Is that the end of 150? Ah, Lavigne. Okay. Mercavalles. Carré del Sindicat. La Coguillada. Oh, we have an approximate. $49.85. 24,332. Not bad. Okay. This feels very European. Winterswijk. Okay. Nederland of België? Ik denk dus Nederland, maar ik is niet zeker niet. Niet helemaal niet. Kotten, Borken, Oeding, Winterswijk, Lichtenvoorde, Groenlo, Alte, Hilgelo, Vrede, Kotten. Okay, some of those names are Zutphen. That's kind of familiar. Okay, so I think we're probably not far from Amsterdam, possibly? Well, not far is, of course, a relative term. I mean, technically you're never all that far from anything in the Netherlands because it's not a very big place. Okay, this looks like the Cementerio General. Familia Paulo Ribeiro Noronha. Are they all Portuguese names, though? And yeah, maybe not the Cementerio General. It's all skewing very Portuguese. But what kind of Portuguese? Okay, you can see a skyline out here. Let's see. That skyline does not ring any bells immediately. Maybe go in the general direction of it. Okay. Johan. Ah, hallo Johan. Alonso Brasiliense. And their name is an alternative term for their surname is an alternative term for Brasilia. São Paulo. Okay, we are in the US or Canada. Of that I am almost certain. Let's see, what's the skip have to say to us? 905 area code.
DeWitt cut. Yeah. Markham. Okay, got very limited options for mobility here. The Golden Horseshoe is what is the award that's given out every year for... Oh, it's Canada. Yeah, it's given up for... it's the Lifetime Achievements in Centrism Award. Okay, Markham, I think, is in Ontario. I think that may be one of those places. Oh no, that is a Canadian speed limit sign. When it is white, rectangular, and says maximum, it is Canada. There are only 2 countries in the world that have speed limit signs that are white and rectangular. That's the US and Canada. And the US ones say speed limit. And the Canadian ones... Oh, here's another one I'll show you. Canadian ones say maximum. And the reason they say maximum... Damn it, we had one a second ago. There we go. Well, the reason they say maximum is because it works in both French and English. So that guarantees we are in Canada. Yeah. I feel like I've seen Markham, at the very least, on a map. Hampton, Coburg, Fifes Bay. There's a town called Irish Lake, and there's no lake near it. Yeah. Langford, Middleport, Blackheath. That is in England. That is a part of Greenwich where basically to live there you have to have 4 generations of your family who have attained a rank of admiralty. Shep's subdivision. Allen's Corners, Duff's Corners, Rickman's Corners. Everybody's claiming corners here. Copetown.
That is where Elon Musk lives permanently. Black's Corners. Everybody, all these places are just called somebody's corners. Wait, Fiddlesticks is the name of a place. Wrigley Corners. Osborne Corners. Like, they just run out of ideas for names and they just decided to start calling things corners. Empire Corners. Six Nations Corner. Nell's Corners. Mimosa. Wallenstein. Dorking. Topping. That's what I was wondering. Speyside, a whiskeyless Speyside. Etobicoke. Littly. Humberwood. Jane and Finch. Kleinburg. Erringate. Oh, God. Okay. gonna say it's someplace around here. Other end of Toronto, damn it. $47.17 though, not bad. Not bad. Yasuragi. 大広報公開中。いや、これは日本だよ。売出中。日本のどこなのか、それが疑問なんだね。Yep. Ah, damn it. Flipped me around. Very country. Is that a grill or a still out there? Okay. 2-lane road. This will give us something. 何県の何郡の何市とか。This feels like it must be a prefectural route. 全く田舎っぽいね。Always tell Japan because their stop signs are triangular. I don't know of any other country that does stop signs like this. Like, that is one of the most standardized things probably in the world, is stop signs. Oh, we're in Hokkaido. You can always tell. You know what this arrow is for? That arrow is to let people know where the edge of the road is when it's snowed in. Hello, Badger. And there's one part of Japan that has them. You can see it on the other side of the street, too. This is Hokkaido. Houtei Sokudo. Okay, and we got a sign saying we're in Hokkaido. We are coming up, or where we're near anyway. Otaru, Zenibako, Sapporo, Hanakawa, Ishikari, Bei, Shinko. Okay, so... Okay, 国道337号線. Those rounded triangles are national routes, which makes life simple. But yeah, if you see those arrows hanging over the street, you know you're in Hokkaido. 337号線。203あったぞ。337号線。じゃあ、小樽銭箱。これは南に向かっている。じゃあ南に向かって当別 Place names with betsu on the end are another giveaway that you're in Hokkaido. Ishikari. Because betsu, see, these are phonetic renderings of Ainu place names. And as a result, the kanji in the names really don't mean anything. It's just phonetics. Okay. Ebetsu. Nanboro. それが終わりなのね。OK。長沼。南幌。江別。わらびたい。Roadside station, the Nordic winds. That's very picturesque. Bannaguro. Where are these? The Otaru Zenibako. Ah. これが小樽。石狩、札幌。Okay, there we go. Why am I zeroing in on Germany when we're going to Hokkaido? $49.84. And this is the last round. And after this, I'm going to take a little bio break. Okay. Where are we? Feel like this may not... Oh, hang on, what is that? No, that's a... That is a caravan. I thought for a second that was a postal service vehicle. Possibly. Okay. We are not in the US, certainly. Or Canada. Those speed limit signs always rule that out. Okay, what's this? Looks like somebody's driveway, possibly. Oh, we're in Britain. That camera icon. I've only ever seen that in Britain. It was a weird looking camera icon. Right along a railway, interestingly. I've been watching this Norwegian series called Varkveum recently. And one of the things that I find striking is you'll have these... Occasionally there are conversations where it's like one person is speaking Danish, one person is speaking Swedish, and one person is speaking Norwegian, and they're just like talking in 3 different languages and carrying on the conversation and understanding each other anyway. Okay, so I'm having a feeling we might be in the Highlands. Fish Express. What? There was a sign there a second ago. Yeah, marked in yards. That is how committed they are to ignoring the metric system in Britain, except on the weather report. Yeah, I think we are in the Scottish Highlands, but it would be nice to get a place name someplace that could confirm that. Yeah, I think I know the meme you're talking about. There's CCTV, there's probably an ANPR camera or something. So it means if you have spray paint to obscure the lens, this is where you would use it. Hello, Togu, or Togo. Did I pronounce that right at least once? Yeah, I mean, it is beautiful. I think it is completely free of signposting, or at least signposting that tells us the location. Thing is, though, this is the first time I've seen you in chat. Welcome. Where are you joining us from? Okay, what's this say? Yeah, for 1 mile, max speed. Drive safe. Yeah, we are in Scotland. Argyll and Bute. A85 in Scotland. Okay. A9. A96. There's the A82. A85, there we go. Comrie, Crieff, Perth, Dalmally, Tindrum, Inverary. Bridge of Orchiectomy. And the town of Auch. It just means also. Phones. Invermoriston. God damn it. Where is the 8? Okay, so there's A85. Okay, so it goes to Perth. That's what I'm looking for, Perth. Oh, thanks for the subscription. Ah, there we are, Perth. $48.37, not bad. Not bad. So what did we get total? Ah, not too bad. 22,644. Definitely not my record there, but still not bad. And now it is time to take a little bio break. I will be back in just a minute. Hi, and welcome to Hyperpolyglotting with Elise. I am Elise, translator, editor, and writer with 20 working languages, and this is where we talk about languages and language learning and all sorts of other stuff, and we play games. This is Elise with an update on the ongoing Inessa Armand translation project. We now have 37 of the 38 extant essays and speeches by Inessa Armand translated into English for the first time. And we are just short of the halfway mark on the fundraising progress as well. This enrichment of the English language Marxist canon has only been possible with your support, and it's been a real lifeline for me. So anyone who would like to support this project can find links in the description for how to do so, and everybody who has already supported it has my sincerest thanks. Perfect. Okay, 3 of 4.
El hospital.
還元一級の先というのは、本当に誰も知らない字ばっかりでしょうね。私は
Okay, we've leveled up and it is time to pick another language.
Morfar är tröttare än vanligt. Maten är färdig.
And let's see what we're doing when we get back. Greek. We're doing Greek when we get back.
Ben neredeyse her gün okuldayım.
Fun fact. Turkish. Hello, Shakespeare. How you doing? Fun fact, in Spanish,
the word for bishop in chess is al-fil. And that actually comes from Arabic. Fil, the same word fil as this, meaning elephant, because the bishop traditionally was to represent elephant units somehow. Similarly, in Russian, the word for bishop is skor, and that also means elephant. Okay.
This is Elise with an update on the ongoing Inessa Armand translation project. We now have 37 of the 38 extant essays and speeches by Inessa Armand translated into English for the first time, and we are just short of the halfway mark on the fundraising progress as well. This enrichment of the English language Marxist canon has only been possible with your support, and it's been a real lifeline for me. So anyone who would like to support this project can find links in the description for how to do so, and everybody who has already supported it has my sincerest thanks.
Ça, ça, c'est ça, que c'est ça, non ça, c'est ça. Sol chi sa che nulla sa, ne sa più di chi ne sa. Ecco.
Bonjour et bienvenue à Hyperpolyglotting avec Élise. Moi, c'est Élise, traductrice, éditrice et écrivain avec 20 ans de travail. Et ça, c'est la transmission en direct ou en jeu des jeux, surtout GeoGuessr en dernier temps. Et parle des langues, de la linguistique et de l'acquisition des langues. 10:159. Haven't made a huge dent in it, but we're getting there. Okay, gonna do some Chinese now. Night. Night. Come on. Yen. Yo. 5. Ducks are drinking wine. Bambas. Bamba, okay, Bambas is duck. Okay, I have now leveled up. Let's see what the XP situation is now. 10,340 out of 12,500. And as always, viewers can choose my next language for me just with a follow and a...
Okay, and I am back. And I thought, we were looking at a really cool channel yesterday that talks, amongst other things, about Indian languages, and it does a really, and just does a really good job of it. So I thought we might have a look at another one of those. I had heard good things about this video about Malayalam, so we're going to have a look at that now. Gonna drop the link in chat, just a second. Thank you. Now, Malayalam, I should note, first time I knew somebody who spoke it when I was in high school, and the one thing I remember her telling me about it was that she considered it the hardest language in the world, which you don't often hear people say about their native language. I mean, there are a few languages you do hear that about from native speakers, but not too many. But apparently Malayalam has it in it. I really like the way they do the subtitles on here, because you have the Malayalam script, and then you have it in Devanagari. And then you have a Romanization, and then you have the English.
दोस्तों आज हम बात करेंगे भारत के एक मिस्टिकल येट मैजिकल लैंग्वेज के बारे में, मलयालम, दुनिया की
The world's only language whose name is a palindrome.
एकमात्र भाषा जिसका नाम एक पैलिंड्रोम है। जय
Let me just make sure that you can see the English subs there, because the narration is in English, and then
से सीधा पढ़ो वैसे उल्टा। But that is the case only in the English spelling. If you look at the Malayalam spelling, you notice that the two L's are different. एक वो simple ल है जिसे कहते हैं
yes, the retroflex L. I've been learning about that in Marathi. It is it is like sort of in between L and R. L versus
alveolar ल, मगर दूसरा retroflex है. So it's not Malayalam, it's Malayalam. But
Malayalam.
that is not the only mysterious part. Malayalam को also दर्जा हासिल है to be the hardest language of India to learn. इसका अंदाजा आप इस बात से लगा सकते हैं कि sometimes the Indian Army uses Malayalam as a code language because non-natives का मलयालम समझना काफी मुश्किल है.
What is the hardest language that you've ever came across?
Okay, I think it's Malayalam.
Okay, so this is okay. So this was not just somebody. Okay, I had not watched this, so I did not know. I haven't. This is the first time seeing of it. So everybody says Malayalam is hard.
I'm gonna say Malayalam.
Malayalam burimuttala bhasheyano. Ade. Endukonda? Vyakaranam? Alla. Aksharangal? Alla. Ucharanam? Alla. Dine endukonda?
Popularly सोचा जाता है कि Malayalam is a mix of Tamil and Sanskrit. But on closer inspection, we find that Malayalam is very unique.
I mean, you do very good like graphics on this channel. It is visually always very interesting.
അലങ്കാരണം ഇക്കൊല്ലം പെരുന്നാൾ വൈകി വന്നേ കണ്ടെത്തി കിടക്കണം മുണ്ടത്തിപ്പറലിന് മുഖത്ത് മുന്നാഴിനി കണ്ടേ പാലിനു കൈപ്പില്ല പഴഞ്ചൊല്ലിൽ പതിരില്ല പച്ചാല പാമ്പിന് പത്തിയില്ല കുതിരയ്ക്ക് കൊമ്പില്ല മുതിരയ്ക്ക് മതില്ല കൊക്കു കാണാത്ത കുളങ്ങളില്ല.
तो चलिए, let's learn about this very special language. Some could say God's own language. Language of the equally special state, Kerala. A state well known for its literacy, its healthy sex ratio, its obsession with gold.
Healthy sex ratio?
And a presence in the Gulf. And just like Bengal, has a fascination with art and communism, a reverence for the feminine, and an obsession with meat. So let's...
Yes. Which are the only Indian languages I have any real acquaintance with are the Indo-Aryan ones in the north, and of those only really Hindi. Like tiny bits of like Punjabi, to Tamil and Kannada. And one thing about the further south you go in India, the more retroflex things like to get. Like Tamil is full of retroflex consonants. I mean the northern languages all have them too, but the southern ones, it is heavily retroflex. Percentage of households that consume fishes and prawns.
Let's explore this very special, mysterious language, Malayalam.
താനെ വലിഞ്ഞു കേറി തൂരത്തിൽ എങ്ങോ പതുങ്ങിയല്ലോ താരക്കൊളുത്തുള്ളൊരാ ചെലക്കും വെറ്റില ചെല്ലത്തിനു.
They like to have things end in O, it seems.
ഭൂമിയപ്പാടെ മൂടും അത്രയും വെറ്റിലയിട്ടു വെക്കാം നിളങ്കാവേ കഥ കേട്ട് മെല്ലെ മിഴി പൂട്ട് മാറിൻ.
Okay, so their L is... This is something I've noticed. Tamil speakers, when they romanize their language, will often romanize the L in Tamil as ZH. It is an L that is somehow connected to all of these different sounds at once, apparently.
अगर हम गौर फरमाएं on Malayalam written in the Devanagari script, we see some strange patterns emerge. First, देखो कैसे ये letter काफी common है. This letter makes the sound nya, not nya, nya. ये letter हमारे हिंदी वर्णमाला के इस second row के 5th column में मौजूद तो होता है, but
It is the fifth column.
हिंदी और काफी सारी अदर लैंग्वेजेस लाइक बंगाली को इस साउंड से काफी परहेज है, बट ये साउंड मलयालम में वन ऑफ द मोस्ट कॉमन साउंड्स है. फाउंड फॉर एग्जांपल इन द मलयालम वर्ड न्यान, मीनिंग आई और मैं. और यही नहीं, काफी बार ये न्या डबल भी हो जाता है, मेकिंग द साउंड न्या. लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल मन्या, मीनिंग द कलर येलो. सिमिलरली हिंदी वर्णमाला के फर्स्ट रो के फिफ्थ कॉलम में है न, जिसे हिंदी बैक स्टेज के पीछे ही रखता है, बट मलयालम में इट्स अ वीआईपी लेटर. और हाँ, ये भी काफी बार डबल.
Yeah, I was noticing that in the Devanagari. That's all over the place.
In fact, मलयालम में इस फिफ्थ कॉलम के सारे लेटर्स को काफी स्पेशल ट्रीटमेंट मिलता है, एंड बिकॉज इस कॉलम के सारे साउंड्स आर
Yeah, so nasal velar, nasal palatal. So they have four different ends.
Nasal sounds. The Malayalam accent might seem a little nasal in comparison to other languages.
Kanni, panni, kanni, kanni, kungi.
In comparison to other Dravidian languages, Malayalam also very frequently uses the vowel sound O. To ask a question in Malayalam, you add a O sound in the end of a verb. So to ask, are you good? You say Sukamano. And so this interaction of nasal, retroflex and O sounds gives Malayalam its signature texture. Take a look at how...
It makes it very easy to rhyme.
The nursery rhyme Twinkle Twinkle will sound like in Telugu and Malayalam.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. In the sky. This is Kerala Twinkle Twinkle. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky.
Interesting. I thought they were going to be translating the lyrics, and it's just the phonetics of it.
Notice how Malayalam is a little more conservative than Telugu when it comes to ending words with vowels. Also notice how Malayalam tends to be closer to Tamil pronunciation. Twinkle becomes twingle. Words like simple get pronounced as symbol. Previously we saw the word written as ninchittu gets pronounced as ninchittu. And words like swagatam become swagatam.
Lots of voiced consonants then.
So just like Tamil, there is a tendency for the letters of the first column to make sounds of the third column. This proximity with Tamil is not that strange considering Malayalam is the youngest Dravidian language. Before 800 AD, Malayalam and Tamil were basically the same language. Malayalam started as a dialect of Tamil that split off from the standard because of the geography and eventually
mountains.
Tankisal started taking its own identity. This is the reason Malayalam has so many common features with Tamil. So much so that some features of old Tamil that are now lost in modern Tamil are still present in Malayalam. For example, while Tamil and Malayalam are the only languages with the sound R, only Malayalis tend to make the right pronunciation, while most Tamils approximate it as the retroflex R. Same goes with the alveolar N sound. Old Tamil में N के लिए दो sounds exist करते थे.
Okay. This is... Oh, hey, Togo. This is a channel called India in Pixels. And it has very interesting videos about Indian languages. I happened to find it when I was looking for something to help me with Marathi pronunciation. And it was really good, so I was just looking at other things. And this one is about Malayalam, which is apparently the hardest language in India.
One is the normal dental न, जो कि हिंदी में भी होता है, और दूसरा था ये साउंड न. इसमें आपका टंग आपके माउथ के रूफ को टच करता है. तमिल में ये दोनों साउंड्स के लिए दो डिफरेंट लेटर्स एग्जिस्ट करते हैं, बट मोस्ट तमिल्स टुडे प्रोनाउंस दीस टू letters the same way. Malayalam में there used to be two different letters, but
well, that's handy. Okay, so the two ends are the same overall shape, but one gets a little loop on the left end of it.
Today we just use the same letter, but magically Malayalis know when to make which sound. Both Tamil and Malayalam में R sound के लिए भी एक letter exist करता है.
See, I don't get that. This was a thing apparently with Marathi as well, where they were no, not Marathi. It was like Kannada, where it was like apparently there were two letters that made distinct sounds, and for some reason 1,000 years ago they decided they were just going to use one letter for those two distinct sounds. And it's like, but I mean, it's one thing to get rid of letters that don't really have a function, because they don't actually distinguish sounds, but getting rid of two letters that make different sounds that are in common use, that just seems like bloody-mindedness.
तमिल में जब ये लेटर डबल होता है then it makes the sound tr, but Malayalam में the original pronunciation t is used. So wind in Tamil is katru, but in Malayalam it's kattu, a sound that is closer to Old Tamil. We know from our Tamil video that because of political reasons, Tamil took active steps to distance itself from Sanskrit. Just
interesting.
की वजह से it refused to even have letters for sounds like kh, jh, th, bh, ये सब.
Interesting.
But Malayalam, being a child of Sanskrit and Tamil, had to be diplomatic. So it decided to have letters for all Sanskrit sounds. But pronunciation ke time, it tend.
Well, I mean, these letters are quite complex. Look at them. Very cool.
Do what Tamil does. For example, in the Sanskrit word sukham, even though Malayalam writes it accurately, Malayalis tend to pronounce this as sugam. Despite that, Malayalam deeply absorbed Sanskrit in many ways. For example, Malayalam is the only Indian language other than Sanskrit to have a letter for the l vowel. This vowel l is only found in one verb of Sanskrit, kliptam, and so.
Wait, they have a letter for something that only exists in one word?
Malayalam has a letter to denote this vowel and also its hypothetical longer vowel. Therefore, Malayalam ने अपने अंदर दोनों तमिल और संस्कृत के rare features को absorb कर लिया है. अगर हम letters की बात कर ही रहे हैं, then it has to be mentioned that Malayalam is often compared to jalebi when it comes to its letters. Sadly, even I can't argue that. Just one look and you'll soon realize.
Whoa, they tweet, what do you call this in your local language? And somebody quote tweeted it and said Malayalam.
That possibly Malayalam script is the hardest script of India to read. Just look how complex the shapes for simple sounds and a.
Oh, but now, okay, now I'm comparing that to the Devanagari, and I can see how that happened. If you look at the Devanagari for these, the and the a, you can see that all they've done is they've taken the Devanagari shape, which is like a 3 connected to sort of a vertical line there, and they've made it flow. So, and then for the longer one, they've just made the line longer and added another loop. So actually, you can see how this came from Devanagari. Interesting. Okay.
Malayalam के काफी सारे letters even look similar, and to make matters worse,
but the similarities do disappear fairly quickly.
There are some letters which are common both in Malayalam and Tamil, but they mean two different things. In many ways, Malayalam is the most unique Dravidian language. We already saw how Malayalam has double nasal sounds.
I mean, look, these are one letter, each of these.
This feature is not present in any other Indian language, not even other Dravidian languages. There's also more. Malayalam is the only Dravidian language जिसमें verbs are free from gender. For example, consider Kannada and Malayalam. Kannada में अगर मुझे कहना है मैंने किया, then I would say माडिद्देने. तुमने किया माडिद्दी. हमने किया माडिदेवु. उसने किया अगर वो लड़का है माडिदानु. उसने किया अगर वो लड़की है माडिदालु. और उन्होंने किया माडिदारू. मगर
माडिदारू. Those are two different types of D sounds.
मलयालम में मैंने किया न्यांगल. तुमने किया निंगल चेदु. हमने किया न्यांगल चेदु. उसने किया अवन चेदु. उसने.
Okay, so Malayalam, just to make up for how difficult everything else apparently is about it, has simplified verb forms, apparently. All of this is just chetu.
किया लड़की अवल चेदु. उन्होंने किया अवर चेदु. Verb बिल्कुल भी inflect नहीं होता. This makes Malayalam closer to English and Ohomia rather than Tamil, Kannada or Telugu.
ஓகே நம்ம இப்ப தமிழ் மாசங்களை பத்தி பார்க்கலாம். சித்திரை, வைகாசி, ஆனி, ஆடி, ஆவணி, புரட்டாசி, ஐப்பசி, மார்கழி, கார்த்திகை, தை, பங்குனி மாசம்.
എനിക്ക് അറിയാൻ മലയാള മാസം പറയാം. ഓക്കെ, ചിങ്ങം, കന്നി, തുലാം, വൃശ്ചികം, ധനു, മകരം, കുംഭം, മീനം, മേടം, ഇടവം, മിഥുനം, കർക്കിടം.
இது எங்கதுல ராசி மாதிரி இருக்கு.
Malayalam is also the only Indian language जिसमें दो अलग प्रकार के हलत यानी stops मौजूद होता है. Take this sentence for example. He called, I gave him the money. इसे मलयालम में कहेंगे അവൻ വിളിച്ചു ഞാൻ അവന് പണം കൊടുത്തു. इन दोनों शब्दों पर गौर फरमाइए. Notice that both end with the sound n but with two different marks. The first one is avan. There's a hard stop at the end. But the second word is avana. There's this half u sound. This hard stop in Malayalam is called a chillu, while this half a sound is virama. मलयालम के किसी भी लेटर में अगर कोई भी हलंत नहीं लगा, then we pronounce it with the a sound. So this right here is not Arjun or Arjuna, it's Arjuna. So many times you don't even need to add the a matra in the end. So the word Ludhiana in Malayalam would be written like this.
Okay, so just gradually. Okay, so I'm starting to get some sort of feel for this script, but wow, they do like
Odisha would be written like this. A Hindi speaker would probably read them as Ludhian and Odish, but in Malayalam you would add the inherent a sound. So now that we have discussed so many unique features about Malayalam, चलिए सोचते हैं कि ये exactly हुआ कैसे. How exactly did Malayalam develop? You'll probably remember from our Tamil video that from 300 AD onward, as culture and literature flourished, the use of palm manuscripts was increasing all over south of India. And because palm leaves में straight lines बनाना बहुत tough होता है, because उसमें फटने का chance ज़्यादा होता है, so लिखने का तरीका naturally evolved in a way where letters became roundier. And that is how gradually the Brahmi script converted into the Vattiruttu script. Vattiruttu का literal meaning होता है a round letter. Initially,
it's like an R sound he's making, but it's transcribed as ZH, interestingly. Ruttu.
Vattiruttu was nothing but a roundier form of Brahmi. But समय के साथ साथ जैसे संस्कृत का influence बढ़ने लगा, new letters had to be invented to encode those sounds that were not present in Tamil, like kha, kha, tha, all of those. And because of that, Tamil letters में inject हुए the Grantha letters. Grantha letters were used to write literature that combined Tamil and Sanskrit in a very unique fusion style, and this style was called Manipravalam. Even
Manipravalam.
The name was a hybrid. Mani was Tamil for ruby, while Pravalam or Pravalam was Sanskrit for coral. Fun fact, both of these jewels are red in color and so they go really well together. Mani Pravalam was like that golden honeymoon period where Tamil and Sanskrit actually blended really well. This meant that not just words mixed but also philosophies and ideas. Mani Pravalam was excessively used by the Vaishnavites, especially to explain the concepts of the Vedas and Upanishads to the common people of South India. Let's listen to a Mani Pravalam composition which combines Sanskrit with a lot of other Dravidian tongues.
Yeah, again, I mean, he does really good with the transcription. And I would note, I mean, I'm watching this because it's just interesting to hear this discussion of the language. But as, like, Hinglish, if you want, like, comprehensible input for Hinglish, the narration is not bad because he's doing Hinglish. Lord associated with or born from milk.
So हुआ ये कि समय के साथ वट्टिऋतु और ग्रंथा स्क्रिप्ट एक दूसरे के साथ कंबाइन कर और इनके कॉम्बिनेशन से एक ऐसी सीरीज ऑफ स्क्रिप्ट्स का जन्म हुआ that could be used to write both Sanskrit and Tamil. इनमें से एक स्क्रिप्ट था the Tilagari script, जो
Tilagari, okay.
कि आज यूज होता है तुलु लिखने के लिए, और दूसरा था, you guessed it, मलयालम। अच्छा, डू यू नो दिस फन फैक्ट? वैदिक काल के कुछ ऐसे रिचुअल्स जो आज पूरे इंडिया से विलुप्त हो गए, वो आज भी आपको केरला में प्रैक्टिस्ड हुए मिलेंगे। लुक एट दिस फॉर एग्जांपल। Here we are witnessing the only surviving ritual to make this so modern. This is the extensive 12-day fire ritual in accordance with the Vedic texts. And not just rituals, even philosophy wise, पूरे इंडिया में बस केरला में ही आपको मीमांसा philosophers मिलेंगे। So सवाल उठता है कैसे संस्कृत इतना डीपली मलयालम को ट्रांसफॉर्म किया? देखो, किसी भी दो लैंग्वेजेस के बीच में वर्ड्स का आदान प्रदान होना ये नॉर्मल है, बट एक लैंग्वेज का ग्रामेटिकल जेंडर जैसा एक कोर फीचर ट्रांसफॉर्म हो जाना ये नॉर्मल नहीं है। This indicates that Malayalam में कुछ deep surgical changes हुए होंगे because of the influence of Sanskrit. But what was it? Enter the Namboodiris. Namboodiris were a caste of Brahmins that were invited to Kerala by the local kings somewhere between 380 to 700 AD. Nobody, however, knows exactly where the Namboodiris came from. कुछ को लगता है that they came from this Nambur village in Andhra Pradesh, while others say that they came from Tamil Nadu. Some think that they were Saraswat Brahmins of Tulunad or Konkan, while others go as far as Uttarakhand or even Kashmir. I guess we shall never know, but
interesting.
हमारा ये डिस्कस करना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है कि उनको इनवाइट करा क्यों गया था। You see, around that time, around 780, Sanskrit was a prestige language. If you wanted to improve your social standing and climb up the social ladder, absorbing some Sanskrit into your language was the easiest way to do it. But this was happening everywhere, in Bengal, in Maharashtra, in Gujarat, but the way it happened in Kerala, that was super unique. केरला के लोकल वॉरियर क्लास थे द नायर्स। दे वर लाइक द मर्सनरीज, लाइक द सामुराइज ऑफ जापान। एक राजा का स्ट्रेंथ इस बात पे डिपेंड करता था कि उनके पेरोल पे कितने नायर वॉरियर्स थे। ग्रुप्स ऑफ नायर वॉरियर्स वाज कॉल्ड अ कलरी, फ्रॉम द संस्कृत टर्म खलुरिका, मीनिंग a place जहाँ पे weapons को practice किया जाता था। Kalari also gave rise to the term Kalari Payattu, a martial art form that was practiced by Nair warriors. Boys as young as 15 were sent to these कलरीज। As a result of this, एक नायर परिवार में पुरुष जनरली हमेशा बाहर रहते थे, which means that the homes were mostly occupied by females, and this gave rise to a matrilinear culture, meaning the decisions of the household were taken mostly by the women, and property transfer होती थी not from father to son but mother to daughter. Remember the Namboodiris? केरला के राजा नंबूदिरी ब्राह्मण्स को अपने सर आंखों पे बिठा।
I'm going to skip ahead a little bit.
Namboodiris or Sanskrit cultures. क्योंकि Kerala was such a bustling trade port, it frequently had exposure to other cultures. For example, Kerala in fact was so relevant around the time Jesus Christ was born that it is literally mentioned in the Bible as the ancient land of Ophir. In fact, one of the 12 apostles of Jesus, Apostle Thomas, was believed to have set foot in the Malabar in 52 AD. Remember?
Interesting.
Called Jesseri, which has many interesting linguistic properties changes.
പേരെന്താ?
പേരെന്നെ
സുഖമാണോ?
സുഖനുണ്ട
എനിക്ക്
നാക്ക്
കുറച്ച്
ശനക്ക്
Yeah, that's true.
എവിടെ?
ഓടെ
Although you sometimes have
വാളപ്പഴം
മഴ
some mixed versions.
പൂവ്
ഫൂ.
All these foreign communities, the Arab traders, the Jewish, the Christians, they were referred to as the Mappilas. In Tamil, the term means son-in-law. Just like the Namboodiris, the Mappilas were also outsiders who brought with them...
there is actually a Judeo-Malayalam language.
Their own culture, who then adopted Malayalam as their own and eventually created a unique blend of the two. Malayalam is actually the story of many such blends that have coexisted together for centuries. You see, itne sare son-in-law cultures aaye aur gaye, but principally Malayalam has stayed at its core.
And yeah, Judeo-Malayalam, you would imagine that would possibly be the Jewish culture with the best food.
As this fiercely
like next to maybe like
independent
Italian Jews,
culture. Again, drawing parallels with culture.
Definitely not. I have to say, our heritage food, Ashkenazi food, is really not the best. It's really, I find, quite bland. But I mean, like, Judeo-Malayalam food's gotta be amazing.
Cultures in Bengal like the Rawa tribe or the Garo tribe and Khasi tribe in Meghalaya, all of them keeping the feminine at the very center of their culture. The story of
And the
Parai
color
Pattu
red as
Pendankulam
well.
of Vararuchi and Panchami is symbolic in nature. I feel it means that whether you are a Dalit or a Muslim or a Brahmin or a farmer or a Kshatriya, whatever, we are all essentially born to one common archetypical father and mother. Everyone in the society has on some level a shared ancestry. You only just have to go really far. In that sense, no one is born as an elite.
That hat must be hard to balance.
No one is born as a
Yeah, I mean, these videos on Indian languages are really interesting. There's one on Kannada, there's one on Gujarati, there's one on Marathi, there's one on why everybody hates English.
Caste. I feel the Malayali culture is all about holding to the best forms of tradition, embracing the art, literature, culture, architecture, food, cuisine, music,
Communism.
all of that comes with it. But at the same time, stand up against injustice, like in 1935 in the Vaikom Satyagraha, where Malayalis would demand that people from all castes should be allowed to enter the temples, or even as far as 1653 in Mattancherry, where the Nasrani Malayalis would protest the Portuguese who attempted to convert the Nasranis from their Syriac faith to Catholicism. The story of Malayalam reminds us that our great strength lies not in maintaining rigid boundaries.
Wow, they really do quite like red.
But in our capacity to absorb, adapt, and transform, while always remaining true to our essential nature. Kerala is the story of a culture that has made unity and diversity not just a slogan, but its true reality itself. Hey you, thank you so much for watching this video. I was really nervous before making this video because Malayalam, even though it's so beautiful, is also so mysterious, and it's a language of contrasts almost. So all of these mysteries, I hope I was able to resolve, at least some of them. Now it's time to give shout out.
Yeah, and I'm going to drop the link to
channel
this
members
video.
because of whom we're able to
Definitely,
make-
if you want to learn about like Indian languages and stuff, it's a very interesting channel. And just the videos are very cool. And the videos are just really well done. It's funny, the guy's voice, the narrator, reminds me, there's a Chilean channel called Analyshit that is like pop culture commentary, and he has a very similar voice to it. Now, this is something else. This is a Japanese video that showed up in my recommendations. There is, in Tokyo, there is a district called Jimbocho, which has apparently the biggest used bookshop district in the world. And apparently there is a weird bookshop there. And I'm kind of curious what makes it a weird bookshop, so we're going to find out.
ダメ始めていきましょう。たくみです。
あかりんです。
さあ、ここはスタジオではございませんね。
はい。なんか、ガヤガヤしてますね。
そうですね。今回は本の町神保町に来ております。
やったー。
So,
ようやく来れました。
Jimbocho is apparently there are more used bookshops in this particular area than in any area of similar size on the planet, which makes it a place I'd really like to visit with just a couple of empty suitcases.
神保町来れました。来れました。
来れました。
来りますよ。
夜すぎるだろう。
夜すぎますね。
久々のロケ企画夜すぎるだろう。
They're talking about how dark it is.
でもね、閉店後のね、ロケができますよ。
そうなんですよ。
できるから、なんか口回ってないな今日。
そうですね。もう夜だからね。
夜だからね。すいません、もう
神保町はもう詳しいですか？
もう詳しいですよ。めっちゃ来ますよ。なんだったら明日も行くの。本当は。
They're talking about how all the shops are closed,
明日の朝も来るの神保町。
and so they can't actually go in,
そんなまあ
apparently.
馴染みのある神保町なんですけども、まあ今回はそんな神保町にある書籍
Honya Meikyu Kara no Dashutsu. This poster behind them is apparently like a bookshop escape room kind of thing going on. A bookshop labyrinth
Escape from the bookshop labyrinth.
グランデさんにお邪魔したいと思います。
ありがとうございます。
はい
ようやく来れました。
趣味の本屋。
なんかまあね、僕もちょっと大好きな
はい。
本屋さんなんですけども、
はい、そうですね。あ、でもあれでしょ、なんかさ、趣味の本屋って言われてるらしいじゃないですか。所詮グランデさん。
めちゃくちゃ尖ってるイメージ。
本当にね。
うん。
だからちょっとどんな本屋さんなのか早速見ていきたいと思います。
本ため。はい、ということで、
はい
所詮グランデさんの中に入ってきました。
はい、なんかね、もう今さ、ちらっと後ろ見ただけでさ、本屋さんとは
The Curry Scramble.
ないよう
いきなりね
なものが並んでるんですけど、なん
変わって
か
ますけど。ね。
すごいね、他もさ、なんか
Oh, it's extremely curry
ちょ
heavy.
っと私たちが知ってる本屋さんとは違う感じの。
そうね、これもう目に入る範囲で言ったらまだ本屋か五分五分ぐらいだよね。
ちょっとね、想像と違うものがいっぱい置いてあって気になりますけど、
はい
今日は何の企画なのかな。
確かに、それはもう気になるところです。
では今日の企画発表させていただいていいですか。
お願いします。
書店で1万円分買ってみたー。
やったまずはこれ。
So they apparently spent each month, so like $100 or more on books, and they're going
こ
to.
れがいいのよ。
We're gonna see what they got apparently.
わかるんだもん。
プラスで言うね。
And I'm still curious because they refer to this as a henna hongyā, which means a weird bookshop. And so far, it looks like a pretty normal bookshop to me. I mean, the focus on curry is not something you see pretty often, all that often. The Jinbocho is known for all sorts of themed bookshops. There is a bookshop that is completely dedicated to cat-related books, for example. So a curry-related bookshop is not completely out of the ordinary.
我々も嬉しい。書店さんもきっと嬉しい。ありがとうございます。
嫌な思い出あります。
何ですか、そのどうしたの、マイナスなこと
ルール
はないの。
説明聞きたい、ちゃんとその2人でですか、また。
Chloe is getting very excited up there. I don't know if you hear that.
おー、では早速ルール説明させていただきます。
はい
本日は2人別々に買い物していただきます。
これよ。これ。前回もう7対3ぐらいしたな。
一人1万円。
はい。
So each of them gets 10,000 yen, and they're going to be going around, and hopefully we're going to find out what makes this a weird bookshop pretty soon. I'm going to skip ahead a bit.
今回の企画の範囲内でリーズナブルに買えますけども。
If it's a weird bookshop because they give you, because they give you 10,000 yen when you come in, I mean that's my kind of weird bookshop.
あ、今やってる脱出のフェアがありますね、これ。うわ、めっちゃ面白そう、これ。めっちゃ面白そう。これ面白そう。
A concerning book has been discovered, and it's being pixelated for some reason.
見たことない、こんな本。ちょっとね、金額のボリュームのある本を選んだんで、こっからちょっと抑えていく必要ありますね。1回は見たんで別の回行きたいんですけど、全部行きたいけどね、これ4回行きます。4回。
Okay, it's a multi-story bookshop.
あれはですね、
It's going
僕の方
up to the fourth floor.
理系の本のコーナーがある回です。
This is apparently where like science stuff
そうなんだな。これね、僕の書いた本が初めてね、ポップ付きで店頭に並んだ本屋さんが所詮グランデなんですよね。なんでまあかなり思い入れのある本屋さんなんですけど、その4階っていうね、まさに僕の中の思い出の地なので、そこに行きます。
I'll be back in just a minute. I'm just gonna check and make sure everything's okay up there. Hi, and welcome to Hyperpolyglotting with Elise. I am Elise, translator, editor, and writer with 20 working languages, and this is where we talk about languages and language learning and all sorts of other stuff, and we play games. This is Elise with an update on the ongoing Inessa Armand translation project. we now have 37 of the 38 extant essays and speeches by Inessa Armand translated into English for the first time. And we are just short of the halfway mark on the fundraiser.
Okay, they're just people walking around nearby and minding their own business, and Chloe's very, very excited and wants to draw our attention to this.
エレベーターに乗ります。4階に行ってみましょう。薄暗い。閉店後だな。なんか T シャツとかもあるんだけど。T シャツよくない？さもあれなんだな。すごいなんか。知らない世界。
So where are you joining us from, Togo? And how did you find the channel? I'm always curious. Because so few people do.
次かもしれない。なんかタロット、魔術。
Magic and tarot.
知らない世界すぎてやばいぞ。絵本とかよくない？なんか楽しそうじゃない？でもさ、なんかさ、さっきのさ、あれいいよね、T シャツ。T シャツちょっとあら、なんか。たくみさんの声が聞こえる。たくみさんと
4階で会っちゃった。
4階で会っちゃった。
ちょっとこっちのホームよ。
ちょっと今あかりパニックだから降ります。
なんかね、カゴ空でしたあの人。
やばー、たくさんも入ってるでしょ。
15分なのにカゴ空でした。
なんかさ、なんかどうしよう、もう何？いや、ちょっと降りてみよう。
I'm gonna skip ahead. I'm still very curious what makes this a strange bookshop.
まあいけるんじゃないかなこれなら。よし、決まりました。
In case I didn't drop the link in chat, I'll do that right now.
戻りますね。戻りました。はい。
たくみさんが今回はちょっと譲ってくれを言う気がするので、はい、こちらで完成。
Ja, das kommt durchaus vor. Denn es gibt ja viele japanische Unternehmen, die ja in Deutschland tätig sind und umgekehrt.
ただいま。
本ため。
はい、ということで、いや、やっぱ書店ロケめっちゃ楽しいですね。
楽しい。
でもなんか今回いつも以上に時間かかりそうだった。
でもすごい驚いたこと一個ある。時間以内に帰ってきてる。
そうなんですよ。
びっくりしちゃった。
一味違うよ、今日のあかりんは。
すごいね。15分なのにちゃんと帰ってきて。
本当に偉いと思った。でもそしたらたくみさんの方が早かった。
そうだね。
どんだけ早いの？びっくりしちゃった。
まあって言ってもまあ1分前ぐらいの集合でしたけど。
本当でした。はい、そうなんだ。
でもなんで変な本屋なんだ？
だってなんか普段想像してる本屋さんのなんていうんですか、並びと違いすぎて、
そうね。
どこに何があるかそもそも歩かないと分かんないドキドキがあって面白かったです。
普通繋がってないから繋がってたりする。
なんかね。
タロットと科学がさ。
Oh, okay. Because of the way the Oh, I see. It's weird in part because of the way the books are organized. Because this floor that is to do with science and stuff also has like stuff to do with like tarot cards and magic and things like that.
確かにこうやってありましたね。そう。だから本当はもっとじっくり見たらもっと楽しいのかもしれない。
なるほど。まあ2フロアぐらいしか見えてません。
いや本当に。
確かにね。じゃああかり今日は書店員さんに来てもらえるんですか？
はい、そうみたいです。その方にねいっぱい解説をしていただきたいと思います。書店グランデの鈴木さんです。どうぞ。お願いします。よろしくお願いします。
Okay. When I heard it was going to be a weird bookshop, I was hoping it was going to be like really weird, but apparently it's just strangely organized. So now
Can we charge rent from the moon? This is a still that is intended for a landlord meme, I think. This is about Tamil. There were so many references to the video about Tamil that I thought we would also have just a quick look at that as well. That's the link to it in chat. This is the same channel, India in Pixels. But why's the part about charging rent from the moon, though? Yes, theoretically we can charge rent from the moon. Will you charge rent for the place on your shoulders? If so, are utilities included? Well, it didn't say charge rent for the moon. It said charge rent from the moon. So I guess as long as you've got some way to access your accounts and things like that and collect it, then I guess you could do it. I guess the idea is that you're on the moon, and from the moon you're charging rent for shit that's on Earth. That is such a random line to have in this song. Like, nothing else is about charging rent. So apparently, now I'd always been kind of curious why it is you find all these loops and things in the scripts in southern India, and apparently it's because the way they would write in southern India is on palm leaves, and it's hard to do straight lines on them.
Tamil, where do we even start?
Okay, let me fix the subtitles, which are in Japanese all of a sudden.
Maybe by acknowledging the fact that Tamil is possibly one of the most underrated languages of India. Tamil was the first language to be given the classical status in India, second being Sanskrit. It is one of the fewest languages in India to be worshipped as a god. Goddess to me.
Interesting. Also a weird thing to include in a love song. A strangely pragmatic thing to include in a love song. The whole discussion about charging rent, whether it's for habitation on the moon or whether you go to the moon together and you're going to charge rent. It's like you don't hear that in many love songs.
Be precise.
I guess that's from the compilation album called Now That's What I Call Bourgeois Love.
And Tamil is not just an official language in Tamil Nadu, but also Puducherry, Sri Lanka, and Singapore. Considering how profoundly Tamil has shaped our country, I don't think it gets the recognition that it deserves. The truth is, what Sanskrit is for the north of India, Tamil is for the south of India. Tamil and Sanskrit are like two legendary Pokemons. One is the guardian of the north.
This is a thing that he does. He is constantly making Pokemon metaphors, if not orally, then visually.
Is the protector
Which,
of the south.
why the hell not?
Two very powerful languages, but only one of them gets all the attention. Maybe it is this feeling of unfairness because of which Tamil might seem a little bit intimidating. But अगर हम इस अनोखी भाषा को एक open mind से approach करें, we soon realize how enchanting it can be. Kind of like a nariyal, you know, coconut, rough and tough on the outside, but so cool and sweet on the inside. Tamil can be quite quirky.
And then you shave it and you add it to chocolate and it fucks it up.
in many ways. While languages like Bengali or Hindi take pride in being a mixture of many languages, Tamil takes pride in exactly the opposite thing, being free from other languages. This is why Tamil can be one of the hardest languages to understand for a non-native. In our last video, we saw how in the book The Man Who Knew Infinity, Telugu was described as a musical language. If we would have continued to read further, we would have found a section on Tamil too. Ramanujan's native language was Tamil, one of the family of Dravidian languages that includes Malayalam, Kannadese, and the musical sounding Telugu. And it goes, European scholars acclaimed Tamil for its clear-cut logic, a language made by lawyers and grammarians.
Interesting. You don't hear that said about all that many languages. I mean, you could certainly say that about German.
Tamil had its own rich literature distinct from the Hindi of the north. Going back to the 5th century BC, boasted a verse from the reminiscent of ancient Greek and was spoken by almost 20 million people. Fun fact, that figure today stands at 80 million people. So, Vanakkam Nanbarale, in this video, we are going to dive into this mysterious
Vanakkam is like the one Tamil word I know.
Forget logical language, Tamil. Sare, Arambikalam.
Someone I only know of from Good Will Hunting. Music and wait, what the hell is it picking up on that it thinks is laughter?
Tamil is an ancient language and that shows in the sounds that it uses as well. In Tamil, vowels are called uyireluthukal, meaning soul letters, and consonants are called meyireluthukal, meaning body letters.
Interesting. Like in Korean and Japanese, vowels are called mother sounds and consonants are child sounds.
A sound is made when a soul letter mixes with a body letter. How poetic.
Why? That was unnecessary. Zaruri nahi.
If we compare this with Sanskrit has 14 vowels and 33 consonants, a total of 47. Tamil is a lot more compact. In Tamil, this whole block of vowels is missing, but it has two additional vowels, short A and short O, like we saw in Telugu as well. One interesting thing about the Tamil script is that we write the vowel marks for AA, OO and IOU before the consonant, like this. But in Devanagari, we always write the consonant first and then the vowel. The interesting bit is that in Odia...
Yes, that is the one thing I know about him. That's why he's mentioned in Good Will Hunting, which is where I heard of him.
Bengali and Ahomia, the convention is similar to Tamil, writing the vowel before the consonant. And this might indicate an ancient connection between the south and the east of India.
Actually, I mean, that sort of that sort of style also exists in like Cambodian and I think Thai possibly as well.
To the consonants, this is where Tamil goes a whole different way from Devanagari. In Tamil, these two columns of sounds simply don't exist. So, no kha, no gha, no cha, no jha, none of these. Tamil considers these to be hot sounds. And a big principle of Tamil language is tanmai, or coolness. So it refuses to have these
Interesting.
sounds. If you ever hear a Tamil speaker pronounce a phrase with these hot sounds, like Atmanirbhar Bharat, it will be quite tricky for them.
And the Atmanirbhar Bharat, it's very difficult. Atmanirbhar. Atmanirbhar.
Okay, so they don't like aspirated sounds.
See, that is the problem. You see, you don't understand that we speak different languages.
Even though these sounds are present in other Dravidian languages because of the influence of Sanskrit, they are not present in the native words. Which is why so many South Indians with the names like Ankita and Gayatri would write their English spellings with TH in them, as opposed to Ankitas and Gayatris of North India who would just use T.
Interesting.
Because South Indians don't have so many ths and ths, it is very clear for them to use T for t and th.
Oh, Jesus, that sounds like a... That sucks. Amoebic parasites are not pleasant.
For the. Moving on to these sounds. हैरान कर देने वाली बात है कि Tamil has these sounds, but it uses just one letter to represent this column and this column. Therefore, both k and g would be denoted by the same letter.
Wait. Okay, so which is a bit like the way Korean does it, which is one of the challenges you have to get used to in learning to read and pronounce Korean, and the way they are distinguished really is by what precedes them.
For example, take the Tamil word for crow, kagam. यहाँ पे this letter in the starts make the sound k, but in the second position it makes the sound g.
Oh, this is a lot like the way it works in Korean, actually. Like in Korean, the initial position would be where you'd be more likely to hear a k sound, but without the aspiration that I gave it there. And in the middle position is where you'd be more likely to hear it as a g sound.
Similarly, this letter is used to denote both ch and j. So, Chennai and Tanjavur में जो ch and j.
This is, yeah, Korean does this too.
They look exactly the same. Similarly, the and the are represented by the same letters.
No, as with so many stories about the Brits in India, the only thing that occurs to me is the word bastards.
So, in Sanjay Dutt, both sounds the and the use the same letter. And lastly, b and b by this letter, so no difference between Bapu and Babu. Now, if we come
to... that kind of... That screws up the pattern I was noticing because... Okay, where is it?
This letter, so no difference between Bapu and Babu.
Bapu and Babu. Okay, so that does not... That would not be how Korean does it because... in that case, they're both preceded by a vowel. Okay, that makes it even more complicated because the...
Now, if we come to this ending block, hold on to your seats. In Tamil, there is no sh sound. So, sh and sh both gone. There is the s sound, but there is no special letter to denote it.
Wait, there's no special letter to denote s?
We use the same letter that we use to denote ch and j to also denote s.
Okay. How do you tell them apart though?
So, Shiv ji ko Tamil mein kehte hain Sivan, and he is spelled like this. This word can be pronounced Chivan, Sivan or Jivan. All of those. And now, believe it or not, pure Tamil does not have the h sound at all. So logically, there is no letter to denote it as well. Tamil has letters for v and nya. N is written like this with 3 loops and n is written like this. Something like Ganesh ji. And ma is written like the Greek psi. Y and v are simple and they are written like this. Now let's come to the part where Tamil becomes quirky. Tamil...
No, okay, I thought we were already in the part where Tamil becomes quirky.
Has an extra letter for n, written like this with 2 loops. This sound is somewhere in between n and n. It sounds like n. To make the sound, your tongue should be little behind the teeth, but little in front of that spot where you make n. Example के लिए, if you take the word nandri, meaning thank you, the first n is normal. You make the sound by touching the teeth. But while making the
okay, it's interesting. What he describes as the normal N, I guess that's the normal N for Hindi. But the normal N for like North American English, I'm noticing this now. I never paid attention to how I form N's. But like every time I form an N while I'm speaking in English here, I am doing the alveolar N, which he refers to as sort of an idiosyncratic Dravidian sort of thing.
Second sound n, your tongue should be little back. Practically speaking, many Tamil speakers do not make a distinction between these sounds. Moving on to multiple variations of l and r. La comes in two forms, the normal la called the labiodental la, and then the Marathi infinitive wala la. By the way, we have a dedicated video on this la, so check that out. And finally, ra comes in three forms. The normal ra is written like this. Then comes the fancy ra sound. This sound has no equivalent in Hindi or English. And this is the same sound present in the name of the language, Tamil. To make this sound, you curl your tongue backwards and almost touch the roof. And then try to say la. There is a famous tongue twister in Tamil that uses this sound.
Okay. Elai Kiravan Vari Para Tolmel Saru Saruki Varu Varuki Kire Viruntan.
See if you can pronounce it. Ere Kiravan Vari Para Tolmel Sarasariki Varavariki Kire Virandan, which basically means the poor old man slipped and fell on the banana skin. Fun tip, if you're not able to make this sound, try imagining yourself as a sobo kid trying to make a very posh R sound. So very similar to Mujhe garmi lag rahi hai. Yep.
That is considered a posh R sound. The garmi lag rahi hai. I'm getting hot. Mujhe garmi lag rahi hai. That means I'm getting hot.
That r is basically it. And now finally the third r. This is what the Telugus call the Bandira, simplified as r. This letter can make the sound r, but also the sounds dr and tr.
Wait, okay, so they eliminate all of these letters because they don't really use them in like native Tamil words. But so they've made a whole lot of space in the writing system, and then they just don't like to make phonetic distinctions that they do actually make. That's an interesting choice. That is the interesting choice, Tamil.
Listen to this part of the song. Notice that in the last word kurayuma, we see this letter make the sound r, but now listen to this section. He says yen matru, but where did the t come here? There is no t, just r repeated twice. So shouldn't it be yen marri instead of yen matri? Well, that is Tamil's quirk for you. When this letter appears on its own, it's r, but if there's two of it, it's tr. And if it comes after n, it makes the sound ndr. So ondr, meaning one, or nandri, meaning thank you. Both have this r come after n. And thus, my friends, now you know the complete Tamil alphabet. Extremely compact, logical, and also quirky. Ab naturally sawal aata hai.
And also quirky. Interesting. Okay, well, it is about time to wrap up. Thank you to everyone who joined, and I've got a Discord for anyone new who would like to keep in touch in between streams. Invite people. Here we go. And this is where you can do it. Thank you to everyone who joined in, and I will be back at 4:30 p.m. US Eastern Time this coming Friday. I look forward to seeing you then.